Hi students, welcome to the second video in Module 2. In this video, we are going to discuss about the nested classes in Module 2. Let us go to the topic. This nested inner classes we have already discussed in Module 2 as the introduction part. In this video, we are going to see how this nested inner classes are defined in C++ and what are the variations can be implemented in nested inner classes. Right? A class can be designed in and defined inside another class. We know it. Such a class is called as a nested class. This is the simple definition of this term. Then if the class contains the nested class, means that class is called as a enclosing class, right? So according to the example shown in the right side, the outer class is called as a enclosing class. Then in the inner class, that is nothing but the nested class is nothing but this class can be defined private, protected or public portion in the enclosing class, right? So this is the simple example of nested inner classes. How it is done in programmatical means, let us see. In left side, one class A is written, so that class is called as the enclosing class. Immediately class B definition is started. So what happens here means the class B is defined as a private in default. So if we not mentioned any access identifier for the declaration, means that is default private case only will be taken in C++ language. So the same kind of definition we can define as a public mode. So what happened in the right side means after the class A in public, class B is defined. So this type of definition is done in public mode and this type of definition is done in private mode. So these two are the valid way of defining a one nested class in enclosing class. Then coming to its size of that class, right? Size of the class occupied by the nesting class and enclosing class means explained with one example here. Let us closely watch this program. Class A is started in that int x is one of the integer variable declared. Then in public mode, class B is started in that also same integer y is declared. So this is the definition, complete definition of both the classes. Coming to the void main, we have to know the size of the class A and class B. Since class A is a enclosing size, class B is in this defined inside the class means, is there any variation in the size is observed means no. There is no variations or differences in the size of classes. So if the class is having both the identical data members means the size occupied by the both the classes will be the same. There is no point to be noted that the enclosing class should have more spaces than its nested class. No, that concept, that assumption is entirely wrong. So according to this size of classes, always in the class B, if we take nested class according to the members defined in the nested class, it will be occupying some size. So here since the class A and class B are having identical values of identical member variables of integer means it occupies both sizes 4 and 4, right? So that is what given here. The size of object of an enclosing class is not affected by the presence of nested class, right? I hope so you got my point. So the size of the objects of an enclosing class will not be affected by the presence of nested class. Then next is how the member functions of a nested class and member variables can be accessed in the nesting of classes concept. So one more example is given here. Class A is started in public mode, class B is started in that one void B test is my only the prototype declaration of my nested class. So this is the one header file. After that, coming to its definition, that is application file, that header file is included properly. Then coming to the definition of btest, how it is referred means it is referred or it is identified with the help of scope resolution operator. So here how the scope resolution operator is used is a matter. So first we have to traverse its path. So btest is a function defined in B class, that B class is defined in A class. Likewise, if you have traversed, there will be no doubt and no trouble in that using the scope resolution operator. According to the example here, A is a superclass, that is the enclosing class, B is a nested class. In the B class, btest is a function. So likewise, it is used. The corresponding definition of beta function is written here. Right? This is also one of the valid way. Next, how in another way the class can be defined outside of the enclosing class means, let us see, one class A is written and inside the class A only class B prototype is declared. Right? There is no much more definition of class B. Only the definition declaration part, that is prototype only, is written inside the class A. Right? Then the class A is closed. Coming to its definition, how it can be defined means using the same kind of scope resolution operator, class A called scope resolution operator of B. That means that A is a super class, that is enclosing class, whereas B is the nested class. Likewise, it is used. When I want to create an object for B, how I can define and how I can define create means the using this syntax. Say A scope resolution operator of B, B1. Here B1 is the object of class B, where class B is nested inside the class A. Right? Likewise, the complete path of that definition has to be written to avoid the name collision and to avoid the errors in ambiguity type. So this is what explained theoretically here. The object of a nested class can be used in any member of the enclosing class without the scope resolution. Right? Then moreover, the nested class can be a member of any enclosing class. Right? Object of nested class can be the member of enclosing class. That is what true. So if class B, the object of class B can be used as a member of class A. Then one more, the members of object can be used are accessed unless the enclosing class is a friend of the nested class. Some cases the public member of the object can be used unless the enclosing class is a friend of the nested class. This is some of the points. Then coming to the next example here, class A, class B is started in public mode, class void btest, that is prototype only written. See here B and P, B1. So this is what mentioned in the previous slide. That means object of the nested class can be a member of the enclosing class. So this is what programmatically done here. B1. B1 is the object of class B, that is nested class. So it can be used as one of the member of its enclosing class, right? So likewise it is used. Then how the superclass can be defined means using the scope resolution A test. Then B1.btest. Here B1 is the object, no? So using now this B1 object is treated as a one member data of class A. So using that object I can invoke the btest function. And B2. B2 is also a valid statement where we are creating one more object for the class B. Using the second object I am invoking the btest function. So these are all the valid ways of and variations of nesting a class inside another class in C++. I hope so. This video is easy and understandable for you. I will catch you in the next video about next topic. Thank you.